local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawFirm.com.
Oh, hello, there we go. There's that microphone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Scoreboard. 844 Studio 4 is the phone number. That's 844-788-3464. It is time for all of your sports happenings. Yes, I guess that's what we'll call it today. Sports happenings and whatnot. Happenings and whatnot. 844 Studio 4, that's 844-788-3464 is the phone number if you want to be a part of the program. Anything sports, we're going to be chatting for, let's see, we'll call it the next 53 minutes or so about everything going on in the world of sports. Hopefully you're in your car on your way home, but be safe out there. I'm looking out this window over here, and it's dark and it's windy. I don't know how much rain there is on the way. I don't know how much there has been, but it seems like rain is on the way. So if you are in the car on your way home on this Monday, be safe. Don't speed. Don't try and be a NASCAR driver, because I promise you, you're not a NASCAR driver. Leave it to the professionals. But we're not gonna do that today. We're not gonna talk about driving home from work, because you're driving home from work. What we are going to do is talk about the Olympics, Major League Baseball, football, NFL football. On Thursday, when we have the Hall of Fame game, yes, you heard me correctly, the first preseason game of the NFL season is this Thursday. It is the Hall of Fame game. The Houston Texans, the Chicago Bears, they'll be playing in Canton in that Hall of Fame game. Plenty of inductees during the game as well, so it's always a good event. But the best news about having this is we have football until February now. Yeah, we might not have it over the weekend this weekend, but starting next weekend, oh boy, it's fast and furious for the NFL, for college football. And you know what else is even going to get some love is the high school sports scene coming back strong. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I read a article from the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Maybe not an article, but more of a press release, I'd say. That the 2023-2024 school year was one of the highest participations in sports that the NCHSAA has ever seen. And the only sport that saw a decrease in attendance was baseball. Now, if I'm Major League Baseball, I'm looking at these high school stats and I'm saying, all right, why are we losing interest in our sport? Because that's the pipeline for the future of Major League Baseball. Anyway, we're not gonna go on a tangent about participation in sports and Major League Baseball. And you know who else is going to have a problem here soon? I've been hearing that youth football is not as big as it once was because of all the injuries, because of all the head problems that people have when they get older. So who knows what's going on with the world of sports? Maybe 10 years from now, we're shaking our heads saying, how did we have 32 teams? I doubt that's going to happen. Anyway, let's get on topic here. You're listening to the Scoreboard, 844-788-3464. The Olympics well underway. I'm watching France versus Norway in men's handball right now. Now, I must admit to you guys, I am not an avid Olympic sport watcher. But this weekend, I had it on in the background, had it on the main TV every now and then, just keeping up with it. And today I also had it on the TV. Men's handball is not the handball that I remember, not the handball that I know from when I was growing up. Handball was You slap the ball against a wall and like you keep doing that with everybody there. And if you miss, you got to run and touch the wall before somebody throws the ball at the wall and you're out. No, this handball in the Olympics is a lot cooler, a lot more fun. I don't know how to explain it because I don't know any of the rules, but if you're interested, tune into USA right now. You'll see some men's handball. It looks like a lot of fun. A lot of these sports are fun, and a lot of them, like water polo, you know what water polo is. But when you sit down and watch it and see all the intricate details of the sport, it's like, man. I was watching the water polo match, right? USA versus Spain earlier today. And I felt like I was drowning while I was watching it. Like, I'm not even kidding. They were treading water for hours, it felt like. Now, I don't know the rules, we're not going to go into a deep rule book lesson on water polo, but it looked like it's kind of like hockey where you could change on the fly. Just if you get tired, get off, get out of the pool, get somebody else in there. But the U.S. is faring fairly well. How about that? We are doing pretty decent in the Olympics right now. According to the official Olympic website, the United States is leading the total medal count with 20. Yes, 20 medals so far for the United States of America. 3 gold, 8 silver, 9 bronze. Japan leads the gold medalists with 6 gold medals. Now, I don't know how many people care about the overall medal count versus the gold medal count, but if it was me, I'm more interested to see who wins more gold medals, because that means you are the best of that sport. Yeah, silver's cool. Yeah, I mean, hey, if I was an Olympic athlete and I got a silver medal, I'm not going to complain. I'm an Olympic silver medalist. But I do like to see the medal count in total versus the gold medals, silver medals, bronze medals. Right now, the U.S. dominating those silver and bronze medals, actually tied with France for silver medals right now with 8. The U.S. women's basketball team was in action as well earlier this afternoon. They beat Japan by a score of 102 to 76. And I'll tell you what, it was close for about the first half that Japan was able to keep it within 10. And then in the second half, Team USA kind of ran away with it. The men's team also won, and they played Serbia. Really the only player that you would know without having extensive knowledge of basketball in the NBA is Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic on the Serbian team, but Team USA men's handled them just fine. The most interesting thing about that game is that Steve Kerr, the head coach, did not play Jason Tatum. He didn't play him. And the U.S. still won 110-84. He said he was kicking himself, apparently. I don't know. You make the Olympic team and you ride the bench for an entire game. That's got to be a low blow right there. But the Olympics are going to continue on. This show, the Scoreboard, is going to continue on as well. We're heading to our first commercial break of the day. We're going to talk more Olympics. We're going to talk more baseball. The MLB trade deadline coming up tomorrow. We've had some pretty decent trades so far in this deadline. It's exciting. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. When we come back, we got plenty of sports to talk about. You're listening to the Scoreboard, and we'll be back after this.
This guy knows his sports, right? There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, here comes a new week, and here come the chances for rain making their way back to the Lake Norman area, too. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky. Carry the rain gear with you for your Monday. On and off rain throughout the day. Some of it could be heavy, and we'll keep an eye out for some localized flash flooding once again. High temperatures in the low 80s. We'll drop back down into the low 70s overnight with a mostly cloudy sky, and we'll run that chance for scattered showers and storms each afternoon this week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like iCats Public Transit.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Brookdale Village in Huntersville welcomes back Dave Scott Crow and his Amusination Academy performance on Thursday, August 1st. Dave's concert and Pick Me Up open mic are events for the kids and the entire family. The show begins at 4:30 p.m. on the green. Parents, grandparents, and kids of all ages are welcome on Thursday afternoon at Brookdale Village for Dave Scott Crow's Amusination Academy. Langtree Live in Mooresville continues their free concert series on Thursday, August 1st. Langtree Lake Norman is open for eats and drinks all afternoon, with Bad Romeo taking the stage at 7 p.m. From AC/DC to Whitesnake, Bad Romeo will bring back your 80s rock memories. Grab your lawn chairs, arrive early to get your favorite spot, and enjoy Langtree before, during, and after the show. We'll see you in Mooresville Thursday night for the Bad Romeo concert at Langtree Lake Norman. Friday night, Brookdale Village hosts Live Under the Oaks in Huntersville. String Theory presents a free concert from 6 to 8. Brookdale restaurants are open for dinner, while Red Rocks will serve beverages on site at the concert. Come on out Friday night for the String Theory concert at Brookdale Village. The Cookout Monster Truck Bash is at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Saturday, August 17th. Sparks will fly as the metal-bashing 2,000 horsepower machines return for a night of high-flying action on the planet's most diabolical outdoor course. Gates open at 4 p.m. Bring a Cookout Cup for free early access to the pit party beginning at 3:30. Pit party includes monster truck rides, inflatable slides, bounce houses, face painting, an autograph session, and souvenirs. Opening ceremonies will begin at 7. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com or the CMS app for information and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
More than a century ago, Bunch Johnson Funeral Home was founded on compassion. Let us assist you with pre-planning for funerals and cremations. Our family is here when you need us. Bunch Johnson Funeral Home.
No radio? No worries.
Just ask Alexa to play WSIC.
Now more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Segment number 2 on the Scoreboard on a beautiful Monday. You know it's beautiful because we're here, right? Even though it's raining. 844-STUDIO-4. That's 844-788-3464 is the phone number if you have something on your mind that you might want to chat about. We're here for the next, let's call it 41 minutes or so. Somewhere around there. I'm not the best at math. You should know that by now. I talk sports. I don't talk math. Anyway, we were talking about the Olympics earlier. Medal count, some games going on. Looking ahead into the Olympics, I am excited for breaking, to be honest with you. Break dancing. If anybody knows. Now, if the U.S. doesn't win gold in breaking, we have a problem. We literally invented it. We invented breakdancing. So the U.S. better win the gold. Yesterday I saw Simone Biles doing some gymnastics. She had her ankle wrapped up a little bit from a small injury, but still looked great out there. Man, I feel like it wasn't even that long ago where we were talking about Simone Biles getting, what was it called? The twisties, I believe. It sounds comical, but when you think about what it is, it's not comical at all. It's when the gymnast has no idea where they are midair. Like you just don't, you lose track of your locations. You don't know which way is up, which way is down. It's terrifying. Gotta be. I've never gotten it because I'm not a gymnast, but it sounds terrifying. So hopefully Team USA, Simone Biles, all of the gymnasts, you saw the men's team actually got a medal. They got a bronze medal for the first time since 2008. So congratulations to the men's gymnast. Love to see it. Let's move along to Major League Baseball for a minute here. Major League Baseball having their trade deadline tomorrow, late afternoon, early evening even, I believe 6 o'clock is when the buzzer will sound, and no more trades are going to be made. There's actually been a fairly decent amount of big names that have been on the move this year. Justin Turner goes from Toronto to Seattle. Some other names that you might recognize. Michael Lorenzen goes from Texas to Kansas City. Carson Kelly goes to the Texas Rangers. There's a lot of big names getting moved around here in this trade deadline. Tommy Edman goes to L.A. Michael Kopech goes to L.A. Look, the rich teams are getting richer, and the poor teams are selling the richer teams their gold. They are. It's just the way it is. And, you know, it's like that in Major League Baseball because you don't see draft picks getting traded. So when a good team is trading a worse team for their star, we can use the word star. You can use best player, good player, piece that they need, whatever you want to call it. They're sending prospects their way. And these small town, or I guess what's the word I'm looking for? It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it. Small market teams. These small market teams, that's how they build. I mean, look at the Kansas City Royals, for instance. They won the World Series in 2014, and then they had to sell everything because they couldn't afford it, number one, probably. And number two, they're not a baseball destination that you would want to be at. They're not the Yankees. They're not the Dodgers. They're not the Red Sox. They're the Kansas City Royals. So they won the World Series. They sell off a bunch of parts. They get to develop players. And now here they are. The young guys are starting to show out. Bobby Witt Jr. has turned into probably the best player in baseball over the past month. Since the All-Star break, I should say. And here are the Royals making trades saying, hey, we want to acquire now. We want to make a run. Because when you look at the MLB standings, things are close atop the American League, especially in the wild card. Kansas City holds a 1-game lead over the Boston Red Sox in the wild card right now. So the Red Sox, the Mariners, they are all in right now. Now, the interesting thing is the Tampa Bay Rays, and we talked a little bit about Randy Arozarena getting traded from the Rays. They are only 3 games out of the wild card, but still, they're in a spot where the team is just not going to go anywhere. They had their window. The window's closing. So before everybody just walks away, you go ahead and you trade your best players, get some assets for the future, and hope to start a rebuild. That's basically how baseball has worked for the past, I don't know, ever. Right now, today is the 29th of July. The Philadelphia Phillies have the best record in baseball. They are ahead of the Cleveland Guardians, who are 2 games back in terms of best record in baseball. The Guardians, the Royals, those are a couple of teams that I don't think anybody expected to have massive years this year. Now, the Guardians have had an up and down years for what seems like the past 7-8 years or so. They got good players. They get injuries. They don't make the playoffs. They get out early in the playoffs. 2016, they lost Game 7 to the Cubs. Greatest baseball game of all time, by the way. You won't be able to convince me otherwise. But some of these teams, man, they are really all in this year. And one of those, as we just mentioned, is the LA Dodgers. They have one of the most recent blockbuster trades as they are able to get Tommy Edman and Michael Kopech onto their roster. I don't know how much of a dominant player Michael Kopech is anymore. He was pretty good for a while there, but you know, he's not like up there in age at all, but he's just not having the year that we really thought he would. But right now, in 2024. He's got a ERA of 4.74, whip of 1.35. So not the best year. It wasn't that long ago where his whip was 1.1. His ERA was hovering right around 3. His WAR was positive. But Michael Kopech not having a great year, so he gets sent off to the LA Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers will take it. They will, because if he works out, great, he works out. Some other players that are on the move, Danny Jansen goes from the Toronto Blue Jays to the Boston Red Sox. Danny Jansen, a catcher. Jazz Chisholm, an outfielder for the Miami Marlins. He is now a New York Yankee. So a lot of moves are being made this trade deadline. I would go over every single one of them with you if we had the time, but we don't have the time for that. There was a lot of action on Friday. We talked a little bit about what was going on Friday. One of those moves was Zach Eflin going from the Rays to the Orioles. That's a big pickup for Baltimore. You also got Yimi Garcia going to Seattle, which is a pretty nice move for them. So it's going to continue. I now that the whatever it's called, the floodgates are open, you're going to start seeing bigger trades. And the Blue Jays are one of those teams that you're going to want to keep an eye on because not only do they move on from Danny Jansen, but they also have Bo Bichette over there, infielder, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. as well, first baseman. Now, both of those players have high value. They are very highly valued players. They're young. They can hit home runs. Bo Bichette's a very electric player. Vlad Guerrero Jr., no matter how you slice it, it's Vlad Guerrero's son. He's good. I would look at that team as somebody to keep an eye on going into tomorrow afternoon. If the Blue Jays are really going to start a rebuild, start over again, they're going to have to trade those two players because the amount of prospects they will get in return probably going to be astronomical. So keep an eye on the Major League Baseball trade deadline as you go into tomorrow. When we go live tomorrow afternoon, there will be 1 hour remaining in the deadline. So we may have a very, very fast and furious trade deadline special tomorrow because I'm expecting a lot of trades to come in last minute. I compare it to the NHL and the NBA because those are the two leagues that seem to have the most entertaining trade deadlines. The NFL deadline is a joke. I mean, it's too early in the season for anybody to really do anything. But keep an eye on it. Probably some big names going to be moved. I remember in the NHL this year, we were having trades reported well after the deadline because there was such a backlog of trades. Maybe we get lucky and we have some kind of action like that in Major League Baseball tomorrow. And if we do, you're going to want to tune in right here to the Scoreboard every day from 5 to 6 o'clock here on WSIC because we will be covering it for you probably all show. I mean, we're going to get a lot of baseball news tomorrow. We're coming up on the halfway point of the program here on this Monday. It's very dark outside. Hopefully everybody out on the road being safe as they make their way home. Please be safe on the road because, I got to drive home later too. I don't want to be stuck in traffic. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Scoreboard. We'll be back right after this.
More of sports director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, here comes a new week, and here come the chances for rain making their way back to the Lake Norman area, too. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky. Carry the rain gear with you for your Monday. On and off rain throughout the day. Some of it could be heavy, and we'll keep an eye out for some localized flash flooding. Once again, high temperatures in the low 80s. We'll drop back down into the low 70s overnight with a mostly cloudy sky. And We'll run that chance for scattered showers and storms each afternoon this week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hello, everyone. This is Joshua Doby, president of North Main Financial Group. At North Main Financial Group, we move to where you need us. Investment management, insurance planning, and estate strategies. No two people are the same, so we customize our planning based upon your needs. Reach out to us at northmainfinancial.com. That's northmainfinancial.com.
Tilly Harley-Davidson is simply the best, and their service department is second to none. Right now, 1K, 5K, and 10K M8 service is only $351.25 plus tax, including SIM 3 and heavy gear oil. Stop by to schedule your next service or online at TillyHD.com. Be road ready with Tilly of Statesville.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Have your say.
Trusting the government to fix anything is a joke.
Be a part of the conversation.
We can't even trust the banks with our money.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
Attention, fellow conservative investors. What does the name Reagan mean to you? It stands for being the ultimate conservative. It also stands for the Reagan Gold Group. Do you see storm clouds approaching? The stock market hates uncertainty, and there are plenty of reasons to be concerned. High inflation, unstable debt, and economic uncertainty are just a few. You have car insurance, homeowners insurance, and life insurance. But do you have insurance for your retirement savings and your 401k? We urge all fellow conservative investors to learn about the one asset that could help ensure your nest egg doesn't crack under economic pressure. G-O-L-D, gold. Call the one name any conservative investor needs to know about. Reagan Gold Group.
800-296-1557. 800-296-1557. 800-296-1557. That's 800-296.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. One thing that all sports fans despise is an athlete who only gives bare minimum effort. We want to watch athletes who play with passion, not who look disengaged and disinterested. But what about in our own lives? Are we just doing the bare minimum at our jobs, in our marriage, with our kids, or in serving God? As followers of Jesus, we must stand out and set the tone of hope, peace, and joy when we interact with others. Our lives should be different as we represent Christ and give maximum effort. 1 Timothy 4:12 says, "Let no one despise you for your youth, but set the believers an example in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, in purity." Rather than needing other people to set the tone for us, we should make it a priority to set the example for others with our attitude and effort. Today, let's set the tone and affect the culture around us. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. McDonald's confirms its $5 value meal deal is working in the U.S. to draw customers, but any boost in sales won't show up till later in the year. And McDonald's saw its same-store sales fall last quarter for the first time in about 4 years. Wall Street, however, expected the drop to be worse, so McDonald's shares rose nearly 4%. The chain is also introducing limited menu items to try to draw customers. Tesla has been trying to draw customers with discounts, and that helped lead to its lowest profit margins in more than 5 years last week. But it got an almost 6% boost today from Morgan Stanley. Its analyst says that the company's cost cuts and restructuring moves make Tesla the big bank's new top pick in the car sector. On Wall Street, kind of a placeholder day. Investors waiting for big tech earnings reports this week, as well as the July jobs report. The Dow fell 49, the Nasdaq rose 12, the S&P 4, all moves of 0.1%. Joan Doniger, Bloomberg Radio.
Now more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
right, everyone, welcome back. Segment 2 here, or segment 3. We are flying by here on the scoreboard today. 844 Studio 4. That's 844-788-3464. Anything on your mind that you want to talk about, we are here for you. Having fun. Oh, until they cut me off the air, basically. We're getting close to the end of the Olympic day. I know a lot of people probably glued to their TV watching the riveting Olympics from the last few days. Team USA basketball, they were able to get a win in their first game, which definitely helps considering well, they had some scares, let's call it. Let's just call it what it is. They had some scares during their warm-up games. But they were able to get the win over Serbia, and it wasn't really close, to be honest with you, but I expect them to win. One team that isn't really expected to win, but they're doing really good right now is, well, Team USA. Team USA Soccer has played 2 games. They've won 1 and they've lost 1. They play Guinea coming up soon. Team USA has a chance to advance to the knockout stage. Right now, France has 2 wins in 2 games. The U.S. and New Zealand both have a win and loss, but the goal differential goes to the United States in that one. So the U.S. will play Guinea, and then New Zealand will play France. If New Zealand and France somehow draw, the U.S. is in. If France wins, the U.S. is in. Basically, the U.S. just needs to hope New Zealand doesn't pull off an upset here. The women's soccer team faring well as they got a win. The women bracket is as followed. Team USA, 2 games, 2 wins. They are top of their group, Group B, with Germany, Australia, and Zambia. They beat Zambia pretty easily in their most recent game. So we'll continue covering the Olympics for you. As I said, we are getting down to the end of the day. Updated medal count for you. The U.S. still tops the list with 20. France in second with 16. Japan and China both have 12. And Great Britain sits at 10. Ukraine has 1. Turkey has 1. I guess it's Turkey A now. I don't really remember hearing about that, but if you look at it, it's spelled completely different. U.S. has 2 golds in swimming, 1 in fencing. They have 4 silvers in swimming, 1 in skateboarding, 1 in fencing, 1 in diving, and 1 in cycle mountain bike. And the bronze, they have artistic gymnastics, cycling road, fencing, skateboarding, and 5 bronze medals in swimming. So the U.S. pretty much cleaning up the swimming category as they got gold in the women's 100 butterfly. That was Tori Husk, as well as the men's freestyle relay 4x100. 844 Studio 4. That's 844-788-3464 if you want to chat with me. We do have a caller into the studio, so let's go ahead and take that now. Good morning, good afternoon, caller. I did it again. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the scoreboard.
Well, hey, Joe, this is Hope.
Hi, Hope.
Listen, I wanted to put a little thingy out there real quick. You know, the Olympics is something that there's so many layers on why people like to watch them. But one layer I want to pull out is that let's sit here with all the unrest in the world, call it friendly competition, celebrate, you know, what's going on as a sports thing. But if everyone, while we've got most of the world watching, most of the world represent most of the world, could we have a little bit running in the background about, you know, peace on earth or whatever your corny thing is that you feel like you would be injecting something that would be healing the situation on the planet. I would love every listener for that. If they could spread the word on that and do their best to do it. Before they get angry, just switch to, at least I'm tuned right in right now to helping change the world, even just by watching.
Yeah.
Does that make sense at all?
Absolutely it does. Got to spread the love.
Okay, well, yeah, well, or spread the truth or spread the whatever. However you want to feel like it's coming from your body. It's not just a simple win, lose, fight, whatever. Yes, that's part of competition, but I want us to do a little bit other side of the coin. And if we could, people, and I'd really appreciate you for that, it will bring some joy back into sports a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate the call, Hope. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for hearing me out, man.
Absolutely.
Have a good day.
You have a good one as well. You know, one of my favorite stories from the Olympics was actually the last Summer Olympics when the Italian and the Qatari high jumpers decided that they were going to split a gold medal rather than compete in a jump off. So they both got a gold medal. Yeah, that was one of the best stories of the Olympics from 3 years ago, because they didn't hold the Olympics in 2020. It was in 2021 over in Tokyo. But man, share the love, show and love. That was one of my favorite moments from the Olympics 3 years ago, Summer Olympics. One thing that is not happening right now, just as a reminder to you, is the NASCAR Cup Series. We don't have any news for you in NASCAR right now. I guess there's one thing. Jason Burdett, member of the number 84 Legacy Motor Club, was released from the team. That's it. That is the only NASCAR news that we have for you. You know what else? Actually, Formula One is still happening. They finished their first part of the season. Now they go into their summer break, which they take every year. So this doesn't have anything to do with the Olympics. But the Formula One race was at Spa, Belgium. One of the most, how do I put this? It has one of the most recognizable corners in all of motorsports, going through Eau Rouge, up through Radion, and down the Kemmel Straight there. Lewis Hamilton won. Now, if you watch the race, you might say, wait, didn't George Russell cross the line first? His teammate? Yeah, his teammate did cross the line first, but during post-race, and this happens in NASCAR, he failed post-race inspection. The car was just a little bit too light, which means he was disqualified, and Lewis Hamilton was your winner from the Belgian Grand Prix on Sunday. That was Spa, if you know it by that name. The next race for Formula One isn't until August 25th. So they are also going on break. The WNBA is on break. NASCAR is on break. There's a lot of sports that are currently taking a pause. But on Thursday, just a reminder, football is back. Yes, football is back on Thursday, and actually we do have some more injury news. I may or may not share that with you today. We'll see what happens. We'll see what we have going on in the remainder of the show today. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in so far. We got one more segment on the scoreboard here on this Monday. Don't go anywhere. Your calls are welcome, 844-STUDIO-4, and we'll be back right after this.
Keep it right here. We'll have more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg in just a moment from 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, here comes a new week, and here come the chances for rain making their way back to the Lake Norman area, too. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky. Carry the rain gear with you for your Monday. On and off rain throughout the day. Some of it could be heavy, and we'll keep an eye out for some localized flash flooding once again. High temperatures in the low 80s. We'll drop back down into the low 70s overnight with a mostly cloudy sky, and we'll run that chance for scattered showers and storms each afternoon this week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Brookdale Village in Huntersville welcomes back Dave Scott Crow and his Amusination Academy performance on Thursday, August 1st. Dave's concert and Pick Me Up open mic are events for the kids and the entire family. The show begins at 4:30 p.m. on the green. Parents, grandparents, and kids of all ages are welcome on Thursday afternoon at Brookdale Village for Dave Scott Crow's Amusination Academy. Langtree Live in Mooresville continues their free concert series on Thursday, August 1st. Langtree Lake Norman is open for eats and drinks all afternoon, with Bad Romeo taking the stage at 7 p.m. From AC/DC to Whitesnake, Bad Romeo will bring back your 80s rock memories. Grab your lawn chairs, arrive early to get your favorite spot, and enjoy Langtree before, during, and after the show. We'll see you in Mooresville Thursday night for the Bad Romeo concert at Langtree Lake Norman. Friday night, Brookdale Village hosts Live Under the Oaks in Huntersville. String Theory presents a free concert from 6 to 8. Brookdale restaurants are open for dinner, while Red Rocks will serve beverages on site at the concert. Come on out Friday night for the String Theory concert at Brookdale Village. The Cookout Monster Truck Bash is at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Saturday, August 17th. Sparks will fly as the metal-bashing 2,000 horsepower machines return for a night of high-flying action on the planet's most diabolical outdoor course. Gates open at 4 p.m. Bring a Cookout Cup for free early access to the pit party beginning at 3:30. Pit party includes monster truck rides, inflatable slides, bounce houses, face painting, an autograph session, and souvenirs. Opening ceremonies will begin at 7. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com or the CMS app for information and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Breaking news, expert analysis, and the stories that matter most, all in one place.
I totally acknowledge seeing flames is a scary situation.
WSIC News Talk Now.
Join your friends from Oswald Baptist Church in Troutman, Sunday mornings at 8:30 on WSIC. Be informed and inspired with teachings from the Word of God by Pastor Wesley Morris. Sunday mornings at 8:30 on WSIC.
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's the Scoreboard on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
I'm calling around here, grabbing this microphone. Hey, everyone, 844-STUDIO-4 is the phone number. We got about 11 minutes left in the program today. So, if you want to call me up, feel free to do so. Phone number is 844-788-3464. I let you know that we are pretty close to the beginning of the NFL season. And there were some deals that were given out over the weekend. Number one, Tua Tagovailoa, a couple of days ago, I believe we were able to talk about that. He got a pretty big deal. And then Jordan Love. Everybody remember the name Jordan Love? Quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Okay. I don't know what the Packers are doing, but Jordan Love got paid. He got paid. 4 years, $220 million. I looked at a list of the top paid NFL players by year. They're all quarterbacks, okay? First of all, you got to get that under put it in your mind that every highest paid player in the NFL is a quarterback, okay? Here is the list of the highest paid quarterbacks on a per year basis, okay? Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow all make $55 million a year. A year. Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff make 53. Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson make $52 million a year. And Jalen Hurts makes $51 million a year. What do all those quarterbacks have in common? Come on, you can figure this one out. What do all those quarterbacks have in common? They got a lot of Super Bowls between them. A big old 0. There are 0 Super Bowls between those quarterbacks. It's almost like, being the highest paid player in the league and winning don't go hand in hand. And we've seen it before. It does not go hand in hand. Patrick Mahomes, even when he signed his mega deal, was not the highest paid player in the league. And he has now spoken out about this, saying he is not underpaid. Patrick Mahomes says he doesn't feel a sense of urgency for Kansas City Chiefs to throw money at him after a slew of new quarterback mega deals on the NFL landscape. Mahomes said it's awesome for the game of football. It's awesome for the quarterback position, but I think all positions. I know every time a contract comes up, everybody looks at my APY, average per year, and everything like that. I'm doing pretty well myself. For me, it's just about going out there trying to win football games, trying to make money for my family. At the end of the day, I feel like I've done a great job of that. A reminder, Patrick Mahomes makes $45 million a year. $10 million less than the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. If you want to win, you are not going to take those high deals. You're just not. You can't win and pay your quarterback that much money because other players have to get paid. Now, there is a sweet spot because I will continue to say who was the last non-star quarterback to win a Super Bowl? I mean, maybe you could say Nick Foles when he won it. But, I mean, Nick Foles, he did pretty good for himself as well. Started for a few years after that, granted around the league, but it's not like he was a bum. There is a sweet spot. And yes, Joe Burrow has made a Super Bowl. And yes, we've seen glimpses that Lamar Jackson can be great. And yes, Jared Goff took the Lions to the conference championship. And Jared Goff also took the Rams to the Super Bowl back when he was with the Rams. But none of them have any Super Bowls. There are some people on this list of highest paid players where I'm just like, why are you throwing them this much money? Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, Justin Herbert. What have they shown me? Like, literally, they have shown nothing. Jordan Love had a good year. It was his first year as the full-time starter, and he gets paid after that? I don't understand. Now, I get it. You have to pay. It's like if you sit around and wait and these guys are as good as you think they are, you're going to end up paying more money in the long run because you're going to wait and the next quarterback up is going to get paid. And, well, you got to beat that. It's always the next man up in the NFL for some reason. Look at Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is terrible. That is a bad quarterback. And he's making $40 million a year with the New York Giants. If you want your quarterback to stick around, you got to pay them the going rate. And the going rate for somebody who's competent is the highest paid player in the NFL every time they sign a contract. And there's no way to fix it because the NFL is now a quarterback league. It is a passing league. Gone are the days of running your running back 30, 40 times a game. Gone are the days of the offensive line and the defensive line being the most important things on your football team, although it still is the most important thing. But they don't get paid like it. And they, now it's, hey, your quarterback. And then it's, hey, your wide receiver. We've seen holdouts. I mean, who's Joe Burrow going to be throwing to this year? Yeah, T. Higgins is on a franchise tag, but Jamar, where are you, bud? It's just interesting how the NFL landscape has changed over the past 10, 15 years in terms of how much money these quarterbacks are getting paid. And you don't even have to look at the NFL solely. Look, I was listening to Charles Barkley on the Dan Patrick Show talking about the media deal for the NFL and how he's with TNT. He might leave, he might not leave, whatever. But he said that when he was playing, which isn't that long ago, Charles Barkley was not that long ago. It's not like we're talking about 150 years ago. We're talking 30, 40 years ago. They were celebrating in the locker room the first time somebody signed a contract where they got $1 million a year. It seems like a joke now if you get offered $1 million a year to play basketball. It's like, what? That's it? Just $1 million a year? That's disgusting. 200, 300. We're going to see $400 million 4-year contracts soon in the NBA. It's insane. And the NFL is heading that way too. 4 years, $220 million for Jordan Love. Now, obviously, he's not getting all $220 million of that. That is the number. That's the price tag. None of that is guaranteed. Well, let me backtrack. Most of it is guaranteed. It is guaranteed money, but it is not guaranteed that he is going to get all $220 million. What is guaranteed is how much it counts against the salary cap, which is that 220 over 4, which is $55 million a year. That will not change. Keep that in mind when we go into this NFL season. If you really want Bryce Young to do good, just know that he's going to get the bag once he does. And you kind of want him to do good enough to where he can get like a mid-tier deal. Like Josh Allen of the Bills is probably the most selfless player in the NFL right now. That guy is signed for like 5 more years at the most reasonable rate that you could be for a quarterback. Baker Mayfield, he took like $30 million a year. So you just got to be careful when you look at these quarterback contracts. I mean, they're out of control, yes, but all sports contracts are out of control. And it has to do with the media rights. On this day in sports history, 2021, following Simone Biles' withdrawal, teammate Sunzi Ali becomes the first among American Olympic champion in any sport when she wins the women's artistic individual all-around gold at the Tokyo Olympics. Some other things that happened on this day in history: Tommy Lasorda retired with a record of 1,599 and 1,439, 4 National League pennants, and 2 World Series championships. Tommy Lasorda retiring on this day. And I lost the year. 1996, I believe. Maybe a little. I don't even. It's gone. I had it and it's gone. 1915, Honus Wagner hit a grand slam at the age of 41 on this day. Ooh, baby. 41 years old, and he hit a grand slam. How about that? And let's see, one more. Do we have time? Sure. On this day, Steve Garvey ends his National League record 1,207 consecutive games played streak. That is some of the things that happened on this day in sports history. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to the program on this Monday. It is gross out there. If you're on the roads, be safe. And if you are safe and you're here tomorrow, tune into the Scoreboard again every day from 5 to 6 o'clock. Have a good night, everyone. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.